So the iconic rooftop scene in this movie, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that.
Justin Baldoni officially breaks his silence.
This is less about cancel culture and more about taking accountability.
He stands, with the message of the movie, and he doesn't want to play any part in the drama.
It looks like the movie It Ends With Us can be the title of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's working relationship. They had so many riffs on set, and now their feud continues. So let's get into it. I want to get into some of the drama involving Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni over the movie It Ends With Us. There's no way there's going to be a sequel. If you guys are familiar with the books, you would know that It Starts With Us, but it looks like It Ends With Us stays true to both Blake and Justin. A source said, "This is uncharted territory. Nobody has any idea of what a sequel could look like. There's probably no world where we will see these two work together again." And that's probably best for everyone involved. Justin said something a little bit shady when it came to the sequel, saying he won't be directing it, saying, "I think there are better people for that. I think Blake Lively is ready to direct." She's not really speaking about him, so it's interesting to see him speak about her. While I like to think that Blake is the villain in this situation, I mean, we did cover her worst moments on the channel, we have to acknowledge that nobody in the cast follows Justin Baldoni. So there's gotta be problems with both of them, which seems like the real world. There's been speculation that Blake and Justin clashed over the final cut of the movie, with Blake's preferred version being the one that made it to the big screen. Now, there are some screenwriters that have found it odd that Blake Lively admitted during a red carpet interview that her husband, Ryan Reynolds, wrote a key scene in the final cut of the film. Sources say that came to news to Justin, who thought the scene had been ad-libbed by Blake. The Writers Guild of America, which this situation with Ryan writing would have violated this, did not respond to a request for comment about Ryan's work violating the guild.
Ryan's here tonight. What is it like for the both of you to be promoting major motion pictures at the same time?
Oh my gosh, it's just so thrilling in our house right now. We help each other, we work together so much. The iconic rooftop scene in this movie, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you know. But he wrote it. He works on everything I do. I work on everything he does. So his wins, his celebrations are mine, and mine are his. I mean, he's all over this film.
And Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman is not all over this film, but he's all over this premiere, and I'm grateful for it.
Congratulations.
Now, I don't think it's super far-fetched or unbelievable that Ryan participated, because people who work in the same industry, they're in the same home, I could see them working together. Though this person gave us some insight. Yikes, this is so unprofessional and quite frankly condescending. I don't even like Justin Baldoni, but as the director for the film, finding out that the praise for a scene in the movie you directed is not going to you, but a co-worker's husband, and finding out his involvement in the film at the same time of the general public is too low. Pure mean girl behavior. Blake just can't help herself. Ryan's involvement raises a second WGA issue, Writers Guild of America. The film began production in May 2023, 3 days after the start of last summer's WGA strike. They're always on strike, but for good reason. Ryan, who received a screenwrite credit on Deadpool 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine, is a WGA member and would have been barred from contributing to the screenplay between May 2nd and September 27th, 2023. They have a bunch of rules and punishments and things like this. And it doesn't look like Blake was transparent with anyone. Even the screenwriters were unaware. Christy Hall, who worked as a screenwriter, revealed to people that she did not know that Ryan made some adjustments to the script. Quote, "There were a couple of little things that I thought had been improvised, like when he says, 'pretty please' with a cherry on top." And she talks about the maraschino cherries. When I saw a cut, I was like, oh, that's cute. That must have been a cute improvised thing. So if I'm being told that Ryan wrote that, then great. How wonderful. I wonder if that's in a sarcastic tone. Now, while Justin and Blake are keeping quiet when it comes to their feud, which I think is kind of common when we see really major celebrities get into it, especially in the movie acting world, because they don't want to have a bad rep, there are still really subtle signs and some that aren't very subtle. Listen to a clip from our friend Sebastian Soto.
Justin Baldoni officially breaks his silence after this whirlwind of drama with Blake Lively and It Ends With Us movie. So he posted on his Instagram and said, "Dear survivor, you embody resilience and courage, qualities that shine bright even on the darkest days. In the tapestry of your life, Each thread tells a story of endurance, strength, and hope. Every step forward you take, no matter how small, is a declaration of your undwelling spirit and an inspiration to others. You may not always see the impact you have, but your journey encourages and motivates, lighting the path for those of us still searching for the light. While I can never fully understand your pain and all you have endured, I want you to know that you are never alone in this fight. We are with you. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. And in your thriving, you inspire us all. Girl, may your journey forward be filled with moments of profound peace, and may you remember that as you fight for joy, you are liberating us all. This is a clear indication where Justin stands. He stands, with the message of the movie, and he doesn't want to play any part in the drama.
I like how Justin's doing the complete opposite of Blake when it comes to DV awareness, actually honoring it opposed to trying to tell people to wear their florals. Now, the rift is complicated because Justin Baldoni and his studio hold the cinematic rights to both It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us after acquiring them in 2019. There were several rejected offers before she found Justin Baldoni, and they decided to do a big screen adaptation. So if he owns these movies, what happens to the next? I mean, it sounds like he doesn't want to direct it and he'd rather just give it on to Blake. Now that the movie's over and promo is done with, the crew members are coming forward. All three sources asked to not be named out of concern for their jobs, and it seemed clear that she didn't want to be there. I guess Blake Lively didn't want to be there. Everyone knew that they didn't like each other. I think some of the rumors online seem a little bit strong. I don't think they hate each other, but I don't think they would work together. Again, their styles are way too different. Blake is very business-minded and very practical. Justin, remember, nobody follows Justin, is so on the other side, which is why he makes art, that they were never going to be friends. I guess he's too artistic and trying to honor the story opposed to Blake, who wants to make it sell, which makes sense why she's trying to do the wear your florals to the theaters.
Blake Lively here. Colleen Hoover. And It Ends With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see it.
Crew member said that Justin and Blake seemed to avoid each other on set, with one source noting they never saw them together unless it was absolutely necessary. I do think some of these sources are holding back, and I don't think that Blake was easy to deal with, and neither was Justin. He was very complicated, probably making things very difficult when Blake was trying to save money and cut numbers and things like that. Here's a clip that surfaced online of these two appearing to get into an argument on set, again highlighting their creative differences. Quote, "They were such conflicting ideas on how to make the movie. Since Blake was bankrolling it, Justin couldn't really put his foot down, but he also didn't really have a strong opinion. He's very good at directing actors and he's good at acting. He's an actor's director, but as far as the direction of the entire picture goes, I don't think it was his sort of film." Another source told People magazine that the principal cast and Colleen Hoover, the author, will have nothing to do with Justin Baldoni. One actor from the film, Brandon, who plays Lily's other love interest, Atlas, became the first member to speak out on the controversy, saying that Blake Lively isn't as bad as how people are depicting her. He said vilifying the women who put so much of their heart and soul into making this film because they believe so strongly in its message seems counterproductive and detracts from what this film is about. It is, in fact, the opposite of the point. While I do acknowledge Brandon's attempt to go and make peace with the situation and calm everyone down, this has just gotten much bigger than even Blake Lively is.
This is less about cancel culture and more about taking accountability. While I agree with a lot of the points made, regardless of who a person is in their personal life, we are looking at this from a professional perspective. It's not about who they are, it's simply about taking accountability. And what we have seen so far, which is a point that was brushed over, was it really appropriate or necessary to sign off tabloid and newspaper gossip as a response to the backlash that the public and the people on social media voiced? Instead of course correcting at that point, they chose to engage, discrediting the other party.
Now, crew members who spoke to Rolling Stone say they noticed a shift in Blake's demeanor and enthusiasm during filming. She was initially excited to begin the project, bringing in scrapbooks of ideas and notes. According to members of production, Blake had her own vision of how she wanted Lily to dress, which conflicted with the costume department's ideas. Quote, "We went dark because of picket lines, and in that time, the costume department was running around with their heads cut off trying to figure out how they could change everything to make Blake happy. There were a lot of returns, exchanges, and repurchases purchasing of the entire wardrobe. Blake wanted to change everything, but she still wasn't happy. Quote, there were lots of talk about if this wasn't contractually obligated, she probably would have to just scrap the whole thing. Quote, Justin was a little inexperienced with running a big crew, and Blake was at first too domineering because she was treating us like a bigger production than it was. Then after she stopped caring, she didn't care about anything about the shoot. Normally that wouldn't be that big of a deal. A lot of actors are like that, but she was so invested in the beginning, and then the more she and Justin interacted, the less she cared about it. And there's plenty of clips where you could see that this is evident of Blake just, ignoring everyone, including Justin Baldoni on set. Now, the crew acknowledges that they both disagreed with each other, but it was civil. They didn't get all like fighting on each other. Blake had her opinions on how she felt things should be done. Justin gave his 2 cents and Blake gave her 2 cents. She certainly had a say in the scenes that trickled down to her wardrobe and all the other things, but that's pretty common. What's really interesting to me is that nobody likes Justin, right? So everyone unfollows him, but then why do these sources say that he was so nice? He got to know everyone on a personal level. He bridged the gap that typically exists between above the line producers and directors and writers and below the line members of production. He would go into the production office or go on set high-fiving everyone, and they described him as super nice. So then why doesn't anyone follow him? Like, did Blake somehow convince everyone to turn against them for their own well-being? Quote, Justin Baldoni is very much about namaste, peace, and love. He's a happy guy, one crew member says. He was much more personable and available than pretty much any other director and certainly any other lead actor I've worked with. So comment below, guys. I don't understand how the math is not mathing. So was he bad? Was he good? Did the people who were doing production like him, but not the actual stars of the film? One person was quoted, he just hired people that he trusted, but Blake really wanted to have her fingers in every little thing, which is fine. She's an executive producer. Nobody was upset by that, but I think she was kind of taken back by how sort of relaxed Justin was. Now, there was a point where these two were after each other's throats, hiring like PR crisis management firms to go and destroy each other's reputations, but it seems like for now that's calmed down. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. I'm so genuinely confused. Like, okay, so is Justin a good guy? He's advocating for the DV, the production staff love him, but then wait, nobody follows him. But then everyone defends Blake, and Blake has multiple on-camera moments of being rude and difficult to deal with. So then like she's the mean girl, but then why is everyone defending her? I'm so truly confused. I need to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.